Family Matters Friday. My name is Jeremy Torsk, and I am so happy to be here today and every Friday afternoon to talk about something that's really important to me, and that is substance abuse disorder and the effects that it has not only on the addict or the alcoholic, but on the family members, the loved one, the coworkers of the people who are afflicted or affected with this disease that we all know about. We all know it well too well. A lot of us have had their issues themselves, or family members or friends or coworkers that just make our lives more difficult because of the mindset that we have to always be around, thinking about what's next, what's around the corner, what's going to happen. Is the person going to be calling me from jail? Is it going to be asking for money, threatening that they're going to get kicked out again? But because of Family Matters program, we now have a tool to deal with that, to deal with our anxieties and our fear of the unknown, and ways that how we speak to the people that have these issues when they're going through withdrawals, or they're drunk, or they're high, or they're asking for the 10th time to come back to the house. So we have been working with Dr. Melody and Ron Bacon, the creators and founders of Family Matters program. We've been trying to get together a package to get out to the people. It's two online courses. The first one is called the Fast Track, and that helps people who have probably younger kids or teenagers going through some changes. And if you're not sure if those changes are just the new friends they're hanging around, or the new music they're listening to, or the new hormones that they're experiencing, well, then the fast track might be for you, because it's going to give you words and actions and behaviors to look for, red flags. And it's going to teach you how to speak to your teenagers or young adults in a way that's not going to be off putting, and it's going to be an open dialogue. So these things give you actual tools to cope with your teenagers, even if it's not with alcohol or drug abuse. You're going to maybe learn some effective communication skills. Beyond that, the step by step program is for a little bit more deeper conversations and more serious situations. Now, the step by step program is also, or the fast track program also deals with some very serious scenarios. The thing I love about this course, that it gives you different scenarios. What happens if the phone rings in the middle of the night? What happens if this happens? It walks you through. If that happens, it walks you through. So it gives you real life scenarios that you can deal with, and some multiple choice questions. So it's engaging. There's videos, there's workbooks, there's books, book suggestions. But the step by step is just a little, again, it's more college, right? From high school, learning about how to deal with people, and then getting a master's degree in how to deal with the adult cycle of abuse of drugs and alcohol, the real long term abuse that we have to suffer through, because a loved one is been for years addicted and mistreating the relationship. So this helps you deal with that person in a way that causes the family to realize harmony again. It also inspires hope. A lot of times you lose hope in these situations. So you actually get to a place where you feel some hope again, because it's not over. While the person is still here on this earth, there's a chance they can recover and be a functioning, productive member of the family. But until that day, the rest of the family still should be that way. And this program helps that. Now, Dr. Melody and Ron has a friend named Tanya Brown. I interviewed Tanya Brown yesterday. I'm going to show you a videotape, about 10 minutes of about an hour video interview we did on Zoom. The quality is not the best because, unfortunately, it's kind of small to fit on this format. However, uh, the message is great. And Tanya Brown got into the advocacy world 29 years ago, coming up next month, as a matter of fact, uh, when her sister, Nicole Brown Simpson, was murdered. That threw that whole family into mayhem. And I was lucky enough to sit down with Tanya on a few occasions now. We've spoken and we're becoming more and more friends. And so I'm going to play this little 10-minute clip for you. I'm going to put this on YouTube in a better format so it'll look better. But this is 10 minutes. Uh, Enjoy it. Get what you will out of it. I've looked for some feedback in the comments section of these things. And I'd love for you guys to see some real genius here because Tanya has been through everything that you could possibly go through in life with her family, with her sister, with herself. And she continues to just get out there every day to help people. She's on a mission to get rid of domestic violence, but it all relates, right? The alcohol and the drugs and the violence. And so I'm very happy to have Tanya Brown in my orbit. And so enjoy this little 10-minute video. And we'll see you again next week when I come back with another guest on Family Matters Friday. And look for the better copy of this video on YouTube in a couple of days. All right. Thank you.
Have a conversation.
Welcome to the conversation. Family Matters Fridays here, and we're talking about Family Matters program, a pretty much a online course for the loved ones and family members of people with substance abuse problems. They call it substance abuse disorder these days, right? SUDs.
Right, SUDs, yes.
And welcome to my guest, Tanya Brown. Thanks
Hi,
for joining
everyone.
us.
Yes.
We've been speaking the last few months, ever since I met Dr. Melody and Ron Bacon, and they created this great course. Yeah, the Bacons, what a name. As soon as I met Ron, I was like, you and I are going to be good just because.
Yeah, they're good people.
Yeah, so I got involved with the program because of my history with my parents being drug addicts, my brothers being drug addicts and committing suicide, my cousin being drug addict and killing herself with oxy overdose. It's just so hard to do it's hard to break that cycle. And so everybody for my whole life who dealt with it pays attention to the drug addicts and the alcoholics and all the problems that come with it. But this program is different.
Yes.
And tell us how you got involved with it, and then we'll kind of explain how this program is different and why you're involved with it.
Okay, and I'm smiling right now, even though we're really talking about a real challenging, kind of depressing and a controversial issue, fentanyl and oxycodone. All of this, it's like, it's in our forefront. It's right there every day in our news. Okay, so let me be me. So the way
when we deal with it as much as we do, we don't, that negative connotation and the hard feelings only comes out when we're in the energy of the addict. But when we're in the energy of the healthy, we could talk about it with this great positive attitude and energy because it's healthy.
Yeah. You got to meet people where they are. And I think that's like and I'll get back to how I met the Bacons. But I think, what's really important for people, whether they're listening to this program, whether they're not in recovery, whether they're not, this is a great program for everyone. It doesn't mean like, okay, my kid's a drug addict, my husband, my partner, whatever. This is really a great program. And you and I have talked numerous times where during my practicum, I was suggesting and requesting, actually requiring at some point where y'all need to go to like Al-Anon, so even though you have no addiction or SUDs in your family or in your circle, but they're life lessons. And this is what, Family Matters, it gives you life lessons. So, I'm all about stepping outside of the box. Yeah.
I don't know when they started getting into this theory of helping the family, and they've had so much experience with helping people with SUDs and different type of alcoholic issues and dealing with the family as a whole. And I don't know what the spark was. And we have them on from time to time, from week to week. So I know we'll eventually get to the back stories of all this, how it happened, because we're just so intent on getting it out.
Yes.
That we haven't dug in that deep. But when I first heard about it, it was just a no-brainer to me because there's so many. It's probably 5, 6, 7 to 1 ratio for every one addict of the nucleus that is really tilted upside down or sideways, can't concentrate at work, can't sleep well at night, worried
Mhm.
when they're not home, worried when they're home and the loved ones are not home.
Yeah,
And this addresses all of that in
it
different
addresses
stages,
all of
different
it.
ways.
Through our conversations, Jeremy, we've talked about like the wraparound program, and
Mhm.
I know the wraparound program from my domestic violence awareness and education and training from 29 years ago. So a
Wow.
wraparound program, like you and I talked about, through our conversations, is if the person getting help is the only person getting help, this family dynamic is not going
Yeah.
to work. The whole
No.
family is there's one, the identified patient, right? So there's that patient. And then everything revolves around that IP, that individual patient.
Right.
And if the whole family doesn't work collectively together, the cycle of abuse, addiction, mental health issues will
Yes.
never, it will never cease. You
And
know,
I think it breeds hopelessness. And if they're going into rehab, not once, probably not twice, definitely not 3, 4, 5 times, the hopelessness gets bigger. And I think what this does is it regenerates hope. Yeah.
this is a very solid program, and I'm so finally someone, because again, like the wraparound program has only been discussed like in child abuse, like olive crest and
Right.
domestic violence, etc. We really have not talked about the wraparound program that it really takes to bring families the peace, maybe not resolution, but some
Yeah.
peace to, okay, do I kick my kid out? Do I bring them in? What do I do? How
Hard
do I have that
decisions.
conversation?
Hard. And this gives you options to do it humanely, to do it effectively, if you have
And
to do it at all.
privately,
Hopefully you don't even have to get there if you start this soon enough. And if it's too late, it tells you a way to do it. Yeah, like you said. And maybe it's okay, I did it, I kicked him out, but it's not the end of our discussions. I can still communicate. I can still have discussions with you and give you it tells you a way to express what you're thinking without banning them or banishing them. And if
yeah.
they don't hear you, it's okay because it's going to tell you how then to address it next time and then next time so that you can at least look in the mirror and say, I'm following the book. The
I
book is
did what
right.
I, yeah, I did all I could. And, talking to all the families out there, and I'm sure there are many of them where,
Every one of them
right now,
has family.
before even getting into the Family Matters program, I'm sure before the program,
Yeah.
I'm sure you believe, I'm talking to the family, I'm sure you believe, and I'm sure you feel, and I'm sure you think you have done it all. But getting into a program like this, and I speak emphatically about this because I am that family member. And
Right.
I'm not talking about my sisters, I'm not talking about my immediate family
Right.
member. I'm talking about family who aren't blood to me.
Right.
They
Yeah.
mean everything to me. And
And,
getting
and
into
even if you have gone through everything, what wouldn't you do? If there's a
exactly,
chance that something could help for under $400, I
yes.
think. I think it's $3.99 for the bundle.
And you have
What
it
wouldn't you do for that?
You have it
It could
there,
it could
and
save your life.
it's there for a lifetime. I mean, my God, how many times have I invested in like programs, like coaching programs, speaking programs, and then it's like, okay, you invest and then it's gone.
It's
I'm like, oh my God, that was such great information. I wish it was like
and
recorded.
if you got one piece, one nugget that could save your life, a family member's life,
That's
the
huge.
person who's afflicted, you'd pay
It's
10 times
huge.
that without even blinking if you knew that's all you had to do is stroke a check for $40,000. You would do it.
You
This is
would
under
do it.
$400 and you get 2 courses to help you with the first step by step, and then it's gonna a fast track, and then
This this program would have like saved me a lot of sweat and tears
yeah,
years ago, for sure.
yeah.
Because
And
there's
I
not.
I told them as a business advisor, because that's the capacity that I met them in, they're charging way too little. And I could not convince them to jack the price up
Mm.
because they know people in that situation, for the
They don't
masses,
have it.
it's priced right, and they are doing what they need to do to get the word out. And I said, can't agree with you more,
Yeah,
but it's the wrong business decision. But we're not talking about doing this for business. We do it for out of our altruism, our give back, because we've all been such affected by
absolutely.
this. The
And
suicide
I'm with,
prevention and awareness and the domestic abuse on your behalf. This is just something else that makes us look in the mirror and go, today didn't end in why. I know what I did today and why I did it.
it's sharing my life experiences
Yeah.
to give hope to other people, because if I didn't
Hopefully
have
that's
people on my outside to help me, I'd be dead two times,
yeah.
three.
Yeah. And people
We're all
think
in
they
this thing
relate
together.
extreme with exclusive too. So I'm feeling this extreme feeling that's exclusive to me and no one knows. But
Yeah,
you'd be surprised how many people know.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't hold anything back. I'm like, why? And that goes for everyone going through, trauma and the traumatic stuff that addiction brings. I mean, there is chaos. 100%. There is chaos. And if I haven't witnessed it myself, I probably have gone through it. And if I haven't, I most likely have met people, when I was working at Laguna Treatment, definitely I have met them. Just chill out, breathe, practice your self-care, and do what you need to do to get through this. And there's no magic wand at all. I wish I could take the pain and the struggle away. It will never go away. It's kind of, it's a new normal. If you've lost a loved one, it's
Yeah.
a new normal. It will never go away anymore. But what you
We're
can
going
do,
to stem that tide and we're going to turn it back with Family Matters program because it gives you the tools to
it
not
gives you the
get to that
tools
point.
and a community. It gives you a community, and this is important. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited that Ron and Melody have gotten to this point, because this was like really a lifelong dream. I mean, we're
Yeah.
going back for many years. I mean, like I told you, from the incubation idea, and now it's turned into what they really, and I love that.